to walk through the fire. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My mama raised me to be. And if you knew my grandma, you'd understand what I mean. I was born for this mission. Do not need no permission to be who I was born to be.
Okay.
Peace and power, family. Welcome to another episode of I Thought We Want to Change, where we have real conversations with real people who speak the unapologetic truth. I am your host, Sister Natural. Today's episode is titled Let's Stay Together. Let's stay together. Okay,
I'm your
and
host, Sister Natural. Today,
yeah, and our topic of discussion is Black love and marriage. So tonight we are blessed to have some amazing and inspiring couples on our show, couples who come from different backgrounds, struggles, and walks of life. And what makes this conversation so beautiful and this podcast so beautiful is that everyone have their own story, their own journey, and their own lessons to share. So joining us tonight, we have my husband and myself, the Palmers, along with the Freemans and the Burtons, as well as the Walkers, who would be a little bit late coming in because they're having a little bit of technical difficulties. But before we dive into tonight's discussion, let's go around the panel and have each couple introduce themselves. You can share your names, a little about who you are, and how long you've been together. So, since I'm the hostess, I will go first. So, my name is Natural, Canoe, but Palmer, and me and my husband, we've been together for a total of close 16 years, and we've
about
been
close to
married for, what'd you say?
12.
We've been no, I know. I was getting to that. I was getting to that. In January the 13th of next year, we'll be married for 30 years.
That's right.
So,
Nice. Okay.
Praise God. Praise
Congratulations,
be to
Matt.
the Lord.
yeah.
Okay, my name
So,
is Can. You want me to go?
good.
Okay. My name is Candace Freeman.
Mhm.
Um,
Sean Freeman.
we are actually newlyweds. We've only been married almost 30 days now, y'all. Almost 30
Oh,
days.
Good.
all right.
Woo-hoo.
Yes.
Welcome to the
Yes.
team.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Good stuff. That's good stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll go. I'm Dr. Felicia Burton, and it's a lot that I can say about myself, but I feel out of place because nobody else did the introduction, and I'm such a talk show host and do what I do. I'm so used to just spilling it all out, but I'm just gonna keep it simple. Um, I'm a forensic therapist, and of course, I'm married to Raheem Burton, um, who also work in the practice with me. We have our private practice, and we work for other establishments as well. Um, we are public speakers on substance abuse and mental health, and we've been married for 10 years, and I'll keep it simple like that.
Okay,
And I'll
okay.
let him
Yay.
tell the
Nice to
other.
meet y'all.
And you
Definitely.
Thank
just had an anniversary too, huh?
yes.
Yeah,
Well,
so,
happy
Yes.
so happy
anniversary.
Happy
anniversary.
anniversary.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
thank
man.
you. We're
Congratulations.
currently planning the renewal ceremony for August 2026.
Oh, man, that's
Oh,
amazing.
Wow.
mhm.
Yes.
And for the record, he's 73, I'm 58.
Okay, okay.
And we're gonna get into it. Yeah, it's
Age
going
is
down
just a number. We all know that.
tonight.
So you got you a young tenderoni.
And I got the whole realest OG ever from Harlem. He'll tell
Right?
you.
Yeah.
Look at that. But see,
Okay.
he don't look like he's 70 something years old. I don't know what 70 something years old look like because these days it look different. It depends
Mhm.
on how you take care of yourself. But, with all due respect, you're a nice 70 something looking year old man because I didn't see
Yes,
you
yes,
take you definitely take care of yourself, and you have a woman that take care of you. I see.
Absolutely.
So I say that in all respect, with all due respect.
Mhm.
I hope to look like that without the beard and stuff whenever I'm 77 years old.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
Raheem, you have to introduce yourself, Raheem.
I know. Thank you. Okay, so I like to say thank you, peace and blessings. It's honor and a pleasure, right? As my wife said, I'm 73 years old, and born and raised in Harlem, and whatever you seeing on The Godfather of Harlem, and Malcolm X and et cetera, et cetera. Some of it's true, some of it's not. But I've been just blessed to live in that era. Um, I experienced a long journey, a transitional uh, place to come to be this age. And, this topic is very dear to my heart. You know, um, I come from the era of Elijah Muhammad. Then went into a war with Muhammad. You know, I'm a Muslim, been around the world. And I'm just here to support, encourage Black love, Black marriages, because if we can be with each other for over 5 minutes, it's a blessing. You know, coming from an Islamic perspective, that's our whole existence and foundation. Try to find your mate, try to continue to work on yourself, um, and try to love each other, pray with each other, work with each other, be patient with each other, tolerate each other, you know. And it's very easy to be with each other when it's the honeymoon stage and la-di-da-di, everything is okay, you know. But the joys in the journey of through the adversity, when the rubber meet the road, you know, then you'll know if you find your soulmate. So um, as you hear some of the um, experiences and wisdom, you know, I've been through a lot of challenges, and she's been through a lot of challenges, right? However, when the rubber met the road, we never gave up on love, right? And one thing we continue to do is continue to make sure that compatibility stays on our radar. Mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical compatibility, you know. So she got to work on her, I got to work on me. We put it in the pot, and we pray that long term success in marriage, pleasing our Lord.
Yep.
yeah.
Correct. Thank you. That was
Thank you
beautiful.
for that. Thank you.
Okay, I'm here on the chat, but I couldn't get into the room.
Miss Savage.
Is there any way that you could try to click the link again? See if I can get you on. That was beautiful. Let me see. And you two are definitely, like I was saying backstage, definitely an inspiration,
Yeah.
to me for sure. Um, Baby, Terrence, do you want? Oh, by the way, let me show you my shirt. This is what I'm wearing today.
I see it. I love it. I see it. I see it.
I got more
I
than
know
one of
that's
them, so
right.
I had to, you know,
As you should.
had to
I be
show
making
it.
a big deal about him too. I think I got on his nerves a little bit. He can't shut me up yet. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't 30 days yet. After 30 days, he could maybe shut me up.
Did you
But
see how
that's
I'm
what
messing
we
the
were. That's
closet?
I don't think so. That's not true. Don't believe that. Don't believe that.
No, he don't believe it. We just, we comedians too. We're very
Okay. Okay.
funny people.
I love that. Humor helps the marriage a lot.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, humor is one of
Yes.
the greatest tools that any marriage could have. If you have humor in the marriage, it'll take you very, very far. I know a lot of marriages, especially in our Islamic community, and I'm not putting the Muslims down or any of those things, but I'm just saying we're more. I'm not going to say held to this standard of structured and things like that. So it tends to be a lot of seriousness
Yeah.
going on in the Islamic community, where as though, our prophet, he laughed, and Jesus, he laughed, and everybody laughed. All of them, they laughed, and they were humorous, and they enjoyed life. They drank wine and did everything else everybody else do, so I just wanted to bring that to the audience attention, because humor is one of the greatest tools that any marriage can have.
Right. So, but it also being grounded too. We try to get grounded a lot, staying grounded, uh, being one with the earth, going out there, touching something that been here longer than all of us, uh, interacting with it, just vibrating high. You know what I'm saying? Always saying good affirmations. You know what I'm saying? Just getting to know. It's like he was saying, getting to know yourself better. You know, it's a lot that you can do. That to make yourself better in situations in life. You know, it's a
Mhm.
pencil go through a lot going in that pencil sharpener. It's going through a lot. But
Mhm.
once you
Right.
pull it out, it's ready to go. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be that same way. Life get hard, so you're gonna go through it like that pencil do in that pencil sharpener.
Right.
But when you
True.
come out,
True.
you're gonna be sharp. So it's just,
Mhm.
mostly about just staying grounded, making sure that I understand where she coming from, not just going with my ideas all the time or whichever way I want to go. Cause she'll pretty much like let me lead, but when you leading a woman, you gotta lead right, You can't be on no, you gotta lead right, you know.
Well, when you say the word lead, that puts me in the mindset of it takes me to a different place, because all the good books talk about the man being the leader, but I want to tell you a little secret.
Before you even go there, I agree. I totally agree. I totally
I
agree
knew
with
it
you.
was
You
coming. I
know,
knew it was
y'all
coming. Go
women,
ahead.
y'all women are so special, and it's
Man,
it takes a
so
woman to
special.
obtain
I think
Yes,
obtain a household.
I
You
yes,
think
know,
sir.
we keep y'all
Yes,
on the men on track when the men fall
Yeah.
off track, and that's
There you
what we're
go.
supposed to do as
exactly, exactly. It's
Exactly.
that nature side
Exactly.
that we don't have. Y'all have that nature side that's just
well,
that
let me ask
nurturing
you this.
side.
That's
Just
right.
y'all just know how to nurture right.
Inside of the wedding vows, does it say lead?
Say it, excuse me, say it again.
Inside of the she caught on. She caught on. Inside of the wedding vows, whether you did a traditional wedding vow or not, because we did non-traditional. We we
Okay.
we did non-traditional wedding vows. We actually wrote our own, and they're
Oh
still
man, that's dope.
Mhm.
published today on our website, because we're
Okay.
just we really got married at a special time in each of our lives after going through several marriages. God, Allah, who we serve, let us find each other,
Right.
because we never gave up on love. And it was at a really holy spiritual time that the Muslims celebrate during Ramadan that
If you
we
don't mind me asking, not trying to cut you out, was y'all already converted to Allah before y'all met, or did this happen?
absolutely, nope,
Okay,
we were both Muslim when we met.
Right.
that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful.
We really were born Muslim. And then
Okay,
our families I'm a second generation Muslim. My father was Muslim.
Swahili.
Yeah. Yeah. So the word lead was left out on purpose of our vows. You want to talk about that, honey?
Well, yeah. You know, I believe from my experience right? From my experience and my knowledge, is that not that the male, the man or the woman have gender roles and things of that nature, right? There's something that a man provides and protects and maintains his family, right? So we would think that because the man's out front and taking on the responsibilities of maintaining and taking care of his family, that the woman would be there to be free to rear the children and give them the internal guidance and knowledge, while the man is out taking care of external things of maintaining the household, making sure that his wife and his children want for nothing. We have dual roles, right? And I believe with the compatibility, the compatibility is the key. I never will deviate from my God-given role to be the protector and the maintainer. But on the other hand, the woman is the nurturer,
Exactly.
the guide. She's built with inherent qualities and leadership that God didn't give me.
Exactly.
And
Right, right.
when we put it together, right,
It makes sense.
makes not even sense. It's bliss. It's bliss.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
It's bliss.
society will make it like men is,
Right.
you know,
Good.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
You said it,
where the
brother.
woman's position is supposed to be, and
no,
everything is like men, men, men. This
no.
society,
We have
but it's like you said, we always been protectors. Women are the
mm,
creators of life. They hold the generations of, you know, other generations and generations. The seeds. We the protectors.
Well, let me
and
just say this to the audience real quick. Let me say this to the audience real quick. So, the topic is, Black love. So, I just want to talk about that just a little bit because we just jumped right in. She didn't even guide us.
I was just about to say that, but I do want to chime in on what you recently said about the protective role of a man, but also we're protectors as well because we
mhm,
protect you all
that's
as
right.
well. Well,
Mhm,
we
Yeah.
protect you, your mental state by giving you peace, hopefully,
right. Yep.
with the woman
Mhm,
that gives you peace. We sometimes, with us and our intuition, we protect you because
mhm,
sometimes we see things before you see it. And that's the way
Mhm.
that we protect you as well. Like sometimes we see things that you may not see in other people or in certain
yeah.
situations.
Mhm,
And,
True,
we
true, so
point
true.
that out, you know.
correct.
My, so, but that's for later. So,
Well,
the
I
first,
don't know.
I,
I don't know, Miss Natural. You know why that? You know why this tap? You know why this topic? I think I'm a little because I was sitting there napping, waiting for the 2 hour time that because the 2 hour time
Yeah, we're
difference.
different.
So I was waiting, and when she told me that's about black love,
Mhm.
not, we have we a special group of people. Let's get
Hmm.
when we say black love, we
Absolutely.
really got to define. We as African Americans are a special, a unique group of people
Absolutely.
where
Hmm.
where we come from and what we endured throughout our history, right? We are blessed to really understand the trial and tribulations to even discuss black love,
Hmm.
you know? And I never want to get away from, we just want black love. I can't dismiss the prolific trauma that we experience as a people. So to sit here tonight and even start thinking and living out black love is a miracle.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
miracle.
Facts,
Hmm.
because we were
But
pinned.
everything was taken from us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
We're
I
pinned
was
against each other all the way since slavery. So
Absolutely.
this is
black love is
you just
something
hit
never
on my
talked
first.
about.
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
you hit on my first question because my first question was, what does black love mean to you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he just answered that for him.
Yeah.
So, well, for me, I really like what my husband said, and I think that's what makes us is so good together. It's the kids now, they say this marriage is lit or y'all vibing, and they use all of those type of words, but really what they're trying to explain is the deep emotional connection
Right.
that it takes. It's really spiritual. It's a bond, that is it's you can't even say romance. I don't even want to say romance no more because it's way past any orgasms that you can have
Mm-hmm.
and with one another, for us, and the age gap especially is it's really rooted in the mutual respect that
Right.
we have for one another, and the mental aspects of, can you see what I don't? And you hit the nail on the head when you just said that. If you have to be able to see what your spouse cannot see. He can't see himself coming. You can. But can you
Right.
communicate that with love, with
Yeah.
empathy, with compassion, without, especially us, because y'all know we all emotional creatures that they made us, and stuff don't come out right sometime, but can you still do it and share it with your spouse, the point that you really trying to get across? I'm telling you now, it took me 4 marriages. Every college degree has a different last name. I'm letting you know that's my story. Every college, I stayed in college for 14 years, and every
Wow.
degree has a different last name until I met this man at 63 years old, and I was 49, and we married. And here we are 10 years later, because it was some things that I needed to experience culturally to equip and prepare me for this particular marriage, which is perfect for me.
Yes.
That is what black love is for me. Mhm.
Anyone else want to answer the question?
Well, black love for me is it's real different because I was never really taught about black love. It was
Mm-hmm.
always something I actually dreamed about, per se. It was never like, okay, you always see it in other races, but you never really see it
Mm-hmm.
in us coming
Mm-hmm.
together and having that power
Mm-hmm.
and that love. So I always dreamed about my Boaz man, my black man. It was
Mm-hmm.
always to have that representation of what my family was supposed to look like. It was always the black man. And so, but that wasn't in my community. I was in an all white community. So it was
Mhm.
never, the culture wasn't embraced, anything. I just knew I was black in an all white community. I knew I wanted black love, right? So now
Mhm.
it's like,
I
I
love
had a
that.
lot of different views on black love because I didn't, for a long time, going through the wrong abusive relationships. I was almost done with black love. Every
Mm-hmm.
relationship I had was a black man. It was toxic. Honestly, like I told my husband, he was the last black man that I gave a chance. I was almost done with black love. I was
Mm-hmm.
done. But
Mm-hmm.
the source put us together in a certain type of way that it just happened.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it was just fate,
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that black love, is powerful. It can be like that after you go through so much. We
Mhm.
have so much, like I was raised in a completely different place. He's raised in a completely different place, and we
Mm-hmm.
just connected. And that's
Mm-hmm.
different. I feel like every race can't do that. Every race can't be completely somewhere different and come together and find similarities like a black person can. I feel that we did, and we're
Mm-hmm.
really different. You know what I'm saying? we're,
Mm-hmm.
we're really
Mm-hmm.
different, but you know, he loves that about me. And sadly, in the black community, they hated about me. I wasn't black enough, but with him, he loves it. So I believe in
Opposites
it.
attract
I
too.
believe in it when I thought I couldn't have it before.
Mhm. Well, opposites attract, and you got your king. You got your
I sure
king.
do. I sure do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's very spiritual though. It's very
That's it.
spiritual.
It's
It's very,
definitely
Right.
spiritual.
it's
Right.
You better
Right.
say
very,
that
very, very,
again,
very
brother.
spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
Say
And you
that
have
again.
to understand that. You have to, when you're talking about black love, you
Absolutely.
have to understand that it's beyond us. It's spiritual.
That's right.
To be honest,
Absolutely.
it's in a whole nother realm. It's and
Right.
it's designed for us, and we have
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
really just take heed to it, and have your mental, physical, be right emotionally, psychologically.
Hmm.
You ready to take on these tasks, especially in a
Mm-hmm.
marriage, because
Mm-hmm.
you ain't. It's like you said, you're not just you no more. Y'all became as one.
One.
That's right.
Yep. There you go,
So you know
brother.
what I'm saying.
And
Yo,
don't leave out the financial part. I really don't want that to be ignored because you
That's
Oh
right.
yeah.
talk about
We're
mental,
gonna we're
physical.
gonna we're gonna talk about that,
Yeah.
but this
But
is
how
what
we met was strictly through fate. We
Yeah.
want to tell people that because we
Mm-hmm.
met each other, a whole year went by, then we reconnected, and then we decided we wanted to, we've been through things and like this is what we want. And there's
Mm-hmm.
no point in waiting. That's what we're trying to show people. Like, what are you
Yes.
waiting for
yeah, I
when
Yes.
left
you
a whole
when you
nother city, came down here, took
Mm-hmm.
a chance. I don't know nobody down here, no
Mm-hmm.
nothing. Just left everything
Mm-hmm.
down there
Yeah.
and just took a chance. And
I
Mm-hmm.
love it.
and the source lined it up. And that's why I try to tell people, our story is different because we started dating in June, we got married in September.
so you
all right,
really
so,
looking at fate without
Okay,
sight.
You know what
wait
I'm
a minute.
saying?
we're gonna
June,
we're
July,
gonna get
August,
into
September.
Yes.
everybody's stories and
Yes,
everything.
yes.
So but when it comes to black love, right? In our race, all these other races didn't go through what we had to experience when it comes to
Yes.
slavery, when it comes to buck breaking, when it comes to the Willie Lynch syndrome period. Us fighting against one another, us pinned against one another. They didn't have to go through that. So it's a lot of obstacles that we face that we had to overcome, and we're still trying to overcome to this day. So you see on social media how there's many gender wars and they pin us against each other. They have let's say like a Kevin Samuels page that talk about the women, then they have another page that talk about the men, and it's just a whole big old ball of confusion, right? But black love is beautiful because of the obstacles that we had to face as people. And not only that is the things that we endure, right? Let's say that we go through a situation,
Mm-hmm.
the rate of divorce is so high when it comes to our people because I feel like we give up so easily.
So easy. Too easy. Too
We give
easy.
up too easily, and for one, we tell too much of our business, right? And then once we tell, too much of our business to the wrong people, they want to say, okay, well, she's stupid for staying with him. He's stupid for staying with her. Too many people in your business, too many people in your marriage. Then it's a whole bunch of
Chaos.
confusion and chaos,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't want to look stupid for staying with a person that has done you wrong. So y'all end up separating because you feel like that's the best thing to do in order to save face. So that's what I feel. I feel like that's an obstacle that we face because of society. People don't want to see us work it out, but then they want to see us together. You see what I'm saying?
And be
Yeah.
waiting down the street for one of y'all.
No.
They want to see black people together. They want to see black love, but then want to talk about people that has went through different things in their life but found their way back to one another and worked it out with one another, but they talk about them bad behind their backs for going through the things that they went through. So you as newlyweds, I'm just letting you know that find somebody if you want to talk to somebody, find somebody that you can trust completely.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
and with a
Yes.
spiritual leader, you have to be careful
I
because
mean,
I
I'm
had
saying because it's
a long
2025, you can't really trust nobody these days. You got to have your circle like small. The smaller your circle is, the better.
Mm.
It's
time.
Well,
you know,
I know,
yeah.
I knew, I
mm.
know, I know somebody want to comment right now, don't you? I know he want tearing
Yeah.
you up. I already know.
Yeah.
Here comes
Well,
the wisdom. Here comes the wisdom.
yeah. Well, my mother and father, I always use a quote, and the quote looks like this, right? Take the best, ascribe and take the best out of our traditions. You know, my mother, I've been blessed with a mother and father that's returned to their creator for over 50 years, right? So as I reflected on that, you know, it gave me the tenacity and the courage and the strength to want to be married, because I come from parents that both parents long-term marriage, but I also seen the lack of, I call it knowledge. You know, my wife and myself, before we and I'm thank you, young man, for talking about, because we did not wait. We did not wait. I seen an interest. I was attracted to her mental, a scholarly. She's scholarly, mental tenacity, right? I come from. I'm an educator. I'm a therapist. I'm a community advocate, activist, right? And when I seen her mental, I fell in love with her mental crown, right? She was pleasing on the eyes, but that's not what I was attracted to. Mentally, where I can hold a decent, knowledgeable,
Conversation.
scholarly, right, attraction mentally, right?
You know why I'm looking like this? Because I don't even have to go through my list of questions. Y'all are just go.
Y'all get
We
everything.
teeing them
I'm
up.
going straight into it because that was my next question. Is what attracted you to your partner?
Yeah, because this is divinely put together. This is
Yeah.
divinely put together.
Okay. Yes.
Now, my father, I prided myself as I started growing up spiritually. My father, his work ethic was strong, but emotionally, he was weak. When I mean emotionally weak, he haven't developed the ability to meet his mate emotionally. So I always share with the young brothers, I said, one of the things that I always say to the younger brothers, increase your emotional vocabulary.
Mhm.
True.
Because women have that. They, we sometimes are very difficult and weak to say, well, what do you think about this? How do you feel about this? Can you express where you're at emotionally? That's your strength. We wasn't instructed or taught that. We was taught like, I'm the man, I can handle it. Don't see me sweat. Don't see me cry. I'm good. I'm all right. But emotionally, I was weak. So one of the things that I prided myself with my wife, which is my better half, right? I can meet her emotionally. I can talk to her in the love language, the emotional love language that she loves, because I increase my emotional vocabulary.
Mhm.
See? Yeah. It's deep, right? Emotional vocabulary.
Oh
I
yeah.
So
think
so what happened was, right? Mentally, we can
And you,
have
brother.
dialogues all day and all night about different various things that's going on,
muted.
right?
I think so.
Emotionally, we can sit back and talk love language emotionally that touches each other's heart. We pray together. And one of the things that I was looking for that I haven't looked in my previous marriages, and I think that Sister Natural said that, don't say what you are, live who you are, right? And live up to who you are.
Mhm.
Mm.
My previous marriages failed because the person, I'm spiritually endowed. I like to pray. I like to share. I like to love, right? And if you're not capable of I call it a reciprocal relationship. It has to be reciprocal. Ain't no superiority, inferiority. But if we mentally compatible, we emotionally compatible, if we spiritually compatible, right? And then we'll be spiritually compatible. Because the
Facts.
physical part is nothing but the physical part.
That's
We'll have
temporary anyway.
temporary.
That's temporary.
So,
And
we have a formula, but because, like the young man was saying, because we don't continue to build and look inward and build our mental, our emotional, our financial, our spiritual, right? Then the relationship becomes lopsided.
Facts.
True.
Yeah,
And just so you know, we got married in 90 days.
right.
And here we are 10 years later. So the first 90 days we had an Islamic wedding. And then the second 90 days we got legally married. I had his last name in 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So it's definitely was the spiritual connection. But in Black love, people are not seeing the unity in the community, the representation and visibility of one another. There's healing power. There's healing, and you can empower one another.
That's right.
Historically, through oppression and racism and separation and all those things, took place. So that's why we can heal together. And guess what? My husband said it. He had 3 failed marriages. I had 4 before him. And guess what? It does not matter. That was so necessary. And the reason people don't get up and try it again, and you started talking about this natural, and I'm real big on this about what the people say. Who gives a damn? Not me. If I cared what
that's not what you was going to say.
if I wasn't hold on,
Yeah.
if I wasn't spiritually grounded, right, and rooted in those traumatic life's experiences, how can I reach for another person to connect with so that I can heal from our divine leader? How can I do that? How can any healing take place if I wasn't already broken and prepared for what is happening right now? All of us in here been broken. It's been legacies of oppression, legacies of mess, legacy of bloodshed, legacy of our heritage being jacked up and divided, right? And my favorite thing to say is misrepresented. Our heritage has been misrepresented, and we have been the most misunderstood culture out of all of them. But look at us now. They never thought we would be doctors, lawyers, radio talk show hosts, podcast hosts, 3-time author, award-winning people. Don't get me started. I'm just trying to tell you something.
Right?
They ain't never They ain't never think we was going to find love and stay married and be married. I ain't even know. Listen, the television had me jacked up. It was televised. It jacked me up to the point where I didn't even think that I was who I was. Right?
Okay.
I always thought I was supposed to be somebody else.
Yes.
Until I didn't think that. And it's all because of the hip. Don't get how can I get me started?
But you know what I feel? Well, you know what I believe? I believe that even though we get married and we say that we're one, we also have to remember that we're 2 separate individuals. That quality time with ourselves and self-care is also important. Healing is also important. Just like you mentioned healing, right?
Yeah.
In order to be one with one another, each side have to have healing in order for it to work. So whenever I was a counselor, which I could just recertify, I always tell people, because I'm the go-to person for everything. But even to this day, right? And somebody come to me and they have an issue, what I tell them is make sure that you go to counseling, but not only as a couple, go to counseling individually. Let your husband or your mate go to counseling for himself, and you go to counseling and you work on you. And then
Right.
whenever y'all have some type of healing, within yourself, come combine as one and heal together.
Yeah, that's vital. That's
But do
vital.
you think it really helps though? You think the counseling really helps? Like going like that individually, like it helps?
You do see this woman on the screen right there?
He say
That
that.
that
He
that
say
was
that.
my marriage counselor and
No,
life
I
coach.
see a lot of couples that go, and they try to work it out, and it just seems like they don't, they
Me
end
and
up.
my husband went through one experience in our life. One, and I'm not going to really talk about it, but
No,
one
we ain't got
experience
to.
in
I'm
our life
just,
well, I'm very transparent, so sometimes
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
he's a
I'm very
very.
transparent. That woman right there, now that's the truth right there.
Yes,
So
sir.
she's the one who had to tell me about myself. I ain't never really had nobody tell me about myself
Mhm.
the way she
Mhm.
told me about myself. She's like, Natural, I love you. And I still remember it to this day. I love you, but there's some things that I hate about you. I was like, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and she
Yeah.
told
yeah,
me, what it was, and she
Yeah.
Yeah.
told me basically what I had to work on. So counseling definitely helps
And you
because
happily married today, correct?
I was
Hell
happy
yeah.
married to him.
Oh, okay. So answer. So that answers your
But
question.
Hey,
yeah,
yeah,
brother,
it
I
worked.
say, don't
It
be
worked.
afraid of counsel, because I think in our community, we don't like going to talking to people that can help us. We just like feel like, hey, we can solve this ourselves, or we can try to handle this ourselves, and sometimes, the majority of the times, it don't work. It don't work at
yeah.
all. You cause more
No.
damage in your relationship than
Then
you can help
fixing it.
it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And
Counseling,
so I
counseling
say,
helped
man,
me a
don't be
lot.
afraid of it. Don't be afraid of it at all. It
No.
no, I'm
actually
not
works.
afraid
It
of it. I just
actually
know a
works.
lot of people that went through it, and it just, it just seemed like it was like a waste of time, kind of
Because
like,
But let me
they
tell
probably
you,
never
it
really
worked.
took it seriously.
They didn't put
yeah,
in the work.
They
No.
probably just went because somebody probably told them. They probably really didn't want to do it. They probably went and tried it, and they didn't want to take heed of taking accountability.
yeah,
because
There
Accountability.
you
Yeah.
go.
because the
Ding,
council
ding,
would
ding,
tell you.
ding,
I mean,
ding.
because you go in there and talking, they'll tell you like, all right, like my wife said about Miss Felicia. Hey,
Yeah.
I love you, but there's some things I don't like.
Right.
Or the council could be like, hey, I hear you, but hey, this is where you wrong at, or hey, this is where you went wrong at. And sometimes, as black people, especially, we too prideful to open up and just let loose. We
facts.
keep that shield up, like, oh, you can't tell me. I know myself. I know me. I know blah 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 blah. But deep down inside, man, you messed up.
Messed up.
You screwed up. You know what I'm
Brian, I know
saying?
you want
And
to
Yeah,
say something.
you're afraid to admit it, that hey, I screwed up. I need help. Help me.
yeah, just
And,
taking
that's
accountability.
what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what that's all it is. But there's an elephant in the room amongst us,
Mhm.
our people, because our cultural upbringing, finances. Now let's not see. My wife's on point. My wife's on point. Look here. When I knew what I supposed to do, and I'm hoping that she knew what she supposed to do, right? So what I'm saying, what you saying here, brother Raheem, in our marriage, money really is not an issue because I do what I supposed to do, and she do what she's supposed to do. What that look like, right? We sit down, we have counsel, we counsel, we sit back, just me and on God. Anytime we have business meetings,
Yeah.
what do the finances look like? Yeah, we define we define our roles agreed upon. This is what I would like you to do, right? And in our marriage, I said, look, I just want you, let me do what I need to do financially. That means to provide, make sure she can maintain her creativity. She works and her income is substantial. Mine is too. However, the external parts, uh, food, clothing, shelter, all that, I take care of. And she said, why you do that? I said, because I would hope that if I run short or excuse me, circumstances hit the fan, you got my back. You know, Also, I'm gonna say this too. And from a ancestral Islamic perspective outlook, right? We don't say help me. We say help me. We don't say help me.
Help me.
Help me.
All right.
So this way, the agenda is wide open. If she's short, I'm going to help her, and she don't have to. I don't have to ask her, right? I said, baby, I see what's going on. Do you need some assistance in this area? Vice versa, baby, I need some help in this particular area, right? What can you do? So young man says, so if you're struggling to be one, you gotta act like you won. You know, we hear misnomers in our community. My money, his money, his money is my money, and my money is my
My
money.
money is my money. Nah.
I said, where
they get that from?
For real.
Who taught you that? But, and then, you know, if we working together, do we have goals? Do we have dreams? We have aspirations.
Yes.
She said she wanted to go to doctorate school. I said, don't worry about it. I will help you get to doctorate school.
And he paid for it. Yep.
And the dividends, she's happy. She's free. She's creative. That's how she got to the books and podcasts, because I assisted her in her area. And Sister Natural, you said something that rang my spiritual bell.
I knew it.
My house is my sanctuary. I catch enough hell trying to provide, and damn if I'm going to come home to a whole lot of chaos, confusion, foolishness, immaturity. I just don't have the patience and tolerance.
I
When
tell
I
you
you,
go,
grow
brother.
up, I
There you
need
go.
peace.
There's not one argument that takes.
Right.
We don't do that here.
And my peace,
And
and my
and why
peace is non-negotiable.
why do people find that strange? Like, because me and my wife, I could probably count on one hand how many arguments we've had in what, baby? The 15, 16 years we've been together?
Yeah.
And a lot of people
we don't
find it. Why
really
do
have
people
to
find it strange that
Well, not
that
mad.
it's
That's
like
one of
kind
your
of like it's not
questions. Look,
coming?
she mad. We done answered another one of her questions.
Yes, let me just throw away the list. I can list
Terrence,
them out. Like,
because Terrence, look, Terrence, look where we
Yes,
come
sir.
from. Terrence, look where we see. A lot of us is in denial, because I always say I'm a byproduct of the things that I was exposed to and I come on influence of. So my wife is not afraid to talk about her family history. I'm not ashamed to talk about my family history. I'm not
That's
afraid
right.
to talk about my insecurities, my inadequacies, my trauma, right? The things that I experienced, right? We don't
Right.
come from that as a people. Was done in the household, you better not take it out.
Right. Right.
So we become private people, reserved, and then we want to know why we unhealthy and we toxic.
And why the marriage don't last.
Thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, one of my questions was I'm laughing because it's so
This
funny
is good.
Because I was saying, okay, every couple faces challenges, of course, right? But how do you handle conflict and disagreements? Like, how do you handle it personally in your relationship? But first, I want to go to the Freemans and ask them that, since they are
The
newlyweds,
newlywed.
you know, not even got to that point yet to where y'all had a minor disagreement, and how did y'all handle it?
You want to
Well,
go?
yeah, man.
Come on with
Okay.
it. Come on with it.
I would say
This is
our
good.
disagree. It's a little bit different because we.
Mhm.
I want to say we got married real quick, right? We didn't really have years of saying, "Hey, I know this eye contact. This means that. I know if he say this, this means." Like we're actually learning that right now. So the communication part, I would say, be like, okay, since we really don't know how we communicate as well right now, as far as if you're angry or if you're serious or you're being sarcastic, or we don't really have that of knowing like that much about each other. I would say that would be more of the communication part that we struggle with. I would say I struggle with. I'm not going to speak for him. That I struggle with, um, because I'm trying to, I guess, be perfect. I guess be that perfect wife, be that perfect everything. And it's like, okay, did I say that wrong, or was that the wrong word to say? You're just really on edge. So I think that's what I struggle with more is communication, and not really knowing how he feels per se on different things because we haven't went through it yet. You know what I'm saying?
Plus, y'all are still learning each other because you got married so quick, which is not a bad thing. But even
Yeah.
throughout my marriage, I've been with my husband for so long. I'm still learning things about him. You're going to continuously learn things about him, and you're going to continuously learn things about yourself as you go on in your marriage. So, um, I want to hear from him. How do you handle it?
Nothing stays
Women's
the same. It always changes. Go ahead,
women's
Tam.
natural.
Come on,
Tell the truth.
Tam.
I'm gonna be
Come
honest.
on.
No, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Lately, if we do have a disagreement about something, I'll try to put myself in her shoes, and see it from the way she looking at it, from the way she looking at it, to see if I'm really messing up in there, and if I am, I'm so quick to take accountability and apologize
Okay.
and do all that.
You
But
got you a fiery one. She a
huh?
little she a little fiery with her cute
Yeah, it
little
can be a little challenging.
how you look.
It can be a little challenging, but it's like I said, man.
Like, that's why you turning on me.
I just try to put myself in her shoes, especially emotionally. Like he was saying, just get in touch with her emotional side and just really try to know. Because women, y'all are very, very, very emotional. Very, very, very emotional. Very, very, very emotional. You know, and trying to get in touch with that side when you're a man, and we not just used to. Well, me, I can just speak for me. Not used to just doing it. It's been a challenge, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like I say, when you love somebody, like when you're in love with somebody, you're gonna be willing to do things that might feel uncomfortable or awkward, just to not, I want to say, make peace, but meet in the center where you don't make her feel like you don't care about anything she got going on, her feelings, or you know anything like that, to try to hurt her. you know
Well, I think they off to a good start. Y'all off
Yes.
to
Oh
a
yeah,
good start.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you
so
touch
that's why
this
we
right
try to
here.
do things, stay grounded, affirmations, pray over each other.
Yeah.
I heard y'all say y'all was Muslim. I'm not anything. I'm just very spiritual though.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I do believe there is a creator. I
Mm-hmm.
believe it's a source,
Correct.
and I just try to stay grounded with that source and the universe, and just,
That's
you know,
beautiful.
help me be a better man to
Mm-hmm.
her. As far as understanding, where she coming from, to make this marriage just grow. I don't want to just grow with her. I want to build with her. We
There you
gotta,
go.
this marriage is our foundation. This is our business. And I like when you say that y'all have meetings and y'all sit down and
Absolutely.
discuss at this, because you have to treat your marriage like a business.
That's
Yeah.
what
This
it
is
is.
our business that we're creating right here. And we're trying to create not just
Mm-hmm.
a business but a firm, you know.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
no,
So
because a business you could easily fire somebody and hire somebody
exactly.
else.
Thank you.
So be careful with
Almost got
that.
fired, y'all. Almost got fired.
Yeah, our ass is almost gone.
Almost got fired.
Hey,
Now
it's,
you can get some. Now you can get
it's,
sent home on leave, and you can get suspended now.
it's a business to a
Now let me tell you, no, no, you
you
see,
know.
but y'all laughing. But let me tell you, because in Islam, there's rules, it's structured. I told y'all that
I,
from the
I
Yeah,
very
understand.
yeah,
I
beginning.
know it's
no,
very
I know
structured.
that,
I
but
told you from the beginning, so you can get put on if there's an agreement. We agree to disagree in this household and in our tradition. What we do is, I will give you. I'll put him on ice for 3 days. That's it. 3 days. I ain't got nothing to say to you, bruh. And what happens in the 3 days is called a process.
Yes.
So what we do, we go to God, we process. We go to God, we process. Now, Brother Walker, you said about the emotional women, and I'm just gonna be brutally honest. I ain't like when you said that because I'm just letting you know.
Oh, what's coming, boy? I
No,
knew it.
yeah, because
It's true, man. It's true.
No, not wrong.
well,
Not
I'm
wrong.
gonna help you out a little bit.
So
Black
y'all,
man.
so y'all don't think women are more emotional?
Okay, see now. Well, hold on. Now hold on. Now I'm going
Listen
somewhere.
to what I'm saying. More emotional.
I heard what you
I'm
said the
gonna
first
let
time.
Felicia
Right.
finish, and then I'll go.
I told you, I heard you the first time, and I did not like it because you put emphasis on that. But let me tell you, that's a societal norm. It's a whole, I'm just saying what society put on the Black woman in regards to being emotional creatures. And you brought into it because you said, y'all very, 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 very.
I'm a crybaby. That's why he said it. I'm a crybaby, y'all.
I said,
I haven't
that
met
gives,
one yet that
let me
wouldn't.
just tell you this. Let me say this. I really want to get my point across. Because what that does is now you giving power to the universe, this lower power thing that's out there, and everybody around us, right? You breathing life into that emotional piece, and that's be used against us, and that's not true at all. And that's why our marriages fail and relationships don't groom and fail. It's not true. That's one of the greatest myths ever. We're wired differently, yeah, but we ain't that deeply emotional. People get spiritually regulated, emotionally regulated, coping skills, grounded, life. Don't get me started because I'm just trying to tell you something. It's not the emotions that keep us like that. Now, when the spirits connect, like Juanita Bynum talks about, no more sheets. Every time you lay down, somebody gonna get up with the feeling, this, that, and the third. But even me and my husband already told you, we ain't mentioned nothing about section. You ain't hear us say nothing about laying down. You heard us talk about the mental. That's what you heard us talk about, and our spirits connecting, and but that is so vital. We are emotionally built like that. I know exactly what you were talking about, but don't ever put us in that box and put emphasis on that and give that much power because we are spiritual creatures. We learn over a period of time through life's experiences how to manage and regulate our emotions. Listen, the reason I know I'm gonna be a millionaire is because I help people with that every single day. Learn to manage the mama. Always have a job because people think just like you. I'm always have a job. So you can learn she is going to be the queen that's going to one day shock your world and manage that one thing you want to think she's going to act a certain way. But when life challenges come and she overcome them, the skill is built, brother. The skill is built. And she going to shock you. She going to shock you. You going to say, what? You ain't acting like that?
Honestly,
No, she ain't going to act like that no more.
honestly, I know more emotional men than I do women. I hear some men say, "Oh, I wish my wife would show more emotion or show more empathy, towards me." So I hear that a lot. So you'd be surprised. You would really be surprised. I know more men. No, seriously, I know more men that's more emotional than women, and I'm just gonna just say the truth. But going on to okay, I have a question, right? So, what has been, if you would like to share, what has been the toughest moments in your marriage and how did you overcome it? If you would like to share.
Woo.
Well,
You want me to
Answer
tell
the
you want me
question.
to tell them about that one? Go ahead, Miss Walker. I'm sorry, Mrs. Walker. You want
who
to
are you
go?
talking to?
Are you talking about
Oh,
Miss
where's the
Freeman?
Walkers? No, that's not the Walkers.
Oh,
You are
That's
Freeman.
those are the Freemans, the Walkers
Mrs.
were
Freeman.
able to
Oh,
Yeah,
that's okay.
Mrs.
yeah.
Freeman. I keep saying Walker. Mrs. Freeman. Go ahead, sweetie. I'm sorry.
Well,
Well,
I think that you said what's the hardest thing? What'd you say again? What's the question? I'm sorry.
what was one of the toughest challenges that you had to face as a married couple and how did you overcome it?
I think me as an individual that's coming into a married, um, I would have to say just the trauma of past relationships and insecurities
mm-hmm,
that are not there.
mm-hmm,
Um,
mm-hmm,
knowing that me, he's not that person. And getting back into reality that that's not, I
Mm-hmm.
might have a trigger or feel that way, but he's not that person. And going back in reality of knowing like, no, I deal with that, but this is not the person. And I have to correct myself a lot. I have to say that. So
Mhm.
that would be like the biggest thing with me because of what I've been through. I'm still through a healing journey, but
Okay.
as I know, I'm lovable still as I heal. But
Mm-hmm.
I have to. What he helps me with is pointing out the things that I don't
Mm-hmm.
see, and I'd be like, okay, and I can
Mm-hmm.
address it and change it. But right now, I don't know a lot of times until he'd be like, hey, you need to check that. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I do because before people told me, but I didn't believe them because they were just toxic people. But when
Yeah.
it's somebody that you love and you be
Yeah.
like, okay, he's telling me the truth. If
Come
he
on, sister.
promises, he means it.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else can make a promise, I'm not gonna believe it. But when he says he promises, I believe it. So
Okay.
it's
Mhm.
different. So it might be the same thing said, but the way you say it and it's you, so I know that you're really trying to help me through it. And he, to me, he already knew these things before we got married, and he was willing to work through this with me before
Mm-hmm.
we got married.
That's beautiful.
So that's another thing, with me having different things like an interview, like, hey, I got all this going on. Are you good with this? And
Mm-hmm.
and that's what he's done. You know what I'm saying? So it's still been a struggle, but he still has not left me. And I say that because it can be really hard with mental health. So I can say that's been a struggle of knowing that the toxic things I went through before, that's not him. And having to correct myself and being able to allow him to correct me for us
Mm-hmm.
to get through it
That's
as
Mm-hmm.
well.
beautiful. Go
Yeah.
ahead,
Yeah.
Queen. I
I
love
love
that.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I would like to say, I'm gonna ask my husband this question, and I'm gonna be like this.
Mm-mm.
But I remember, like me, I'm like a really silly person. Some people see me
Mhm.
as serious because I'm in the community, but I'm pretty goofy at times. So it's a funny moment, right? I could get on people's nerves because I crack a lot of jokes and stuff like that. So look how he looking. So I wanted to know if he'll be able to handle me because I'm a handful at times. I will get on your nerves because I'll mess with you. I'm a jokester, I'll prank you. I do all. And you don't know how many times I've pranked this man. So like one day I was like, "You sure you want to marry me? You sure you want to be with me? You sure you can handle me? That kind of thing." So I got on his nerves for a whole entire hour. Was it like an hour or so? Like I
I
just
feel like it was
bothered
longer
him
than
for
that.
all the time, hour, just to see if he could put up with me, and he dealt with it too. I can't remember everything I was doing, but it was funny. It was funny. I still remember it to this day,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I can
it's
tell
funny to you.
jokester. Like we have this little mannequin that we use, like for clothing and stuff. Because I had my own clothing line and everything. I got it dressed up and everything, and I put it by the
Mhm.
door. I do stupid stuff like that. To see what his reaction would be. Like if he'll pull his weapon to do whatever.
No.
I do all kind of crazy stuff to him. But I'm a whole prankster. I'll prank the mess out of you. I prank the mess out of my kids. That's just who I am. But Brother Terrence. So the same question for you. Like, what was one of the toughest battles that you had to face being married, and how did we overcome it?
That's a real
I mean, pretty
that's
much
a good
what we
question.
brought up, what we said earlier, that we're not going to go in discussion because that's back there. That's done with. Um, Pretty
It
much
was
how
during
we,
COVID time. It was during COVID time.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
pretty much how we
Had
done with,
no
like I was telling
kids.
Miss Brother Freeman, like I mean, therapy. Like my wife said, I seek therapy. She did. And we came together and seek
Mhm.
therapy, and I mean, we worked through it. And it is what we did. It was important. It was necessary.
Mhm.
That we did it. We've been together, like I said, 15, 16 years, and we came a little bump in the road and stuff like that. And it was some things that I needed to work on for me. That was inside of me or whatever that I needed to let out and fix.
Do you
Um,
feel like
and
without the counseling that y'all wouldn't have been together for them 15, 16 years? Like it wouldn't without it, y'all wouldn't have made it?
no,
That's right. That's
I,
an honest answer.
I
Yeah.
can say no.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I can
she was
say no
gone.
because, like I said, it was.
Yeah.
I
She
won't
was
say it
So
was
gone.
you
so much.
felt like it was necessary, bro?
Look
The
at me.
therapy, yes.
Yes, it was necessary, but
Yeah.
I needed my individual,
Mhm.
counseling myself, and Miss Felicia was my counselor and my life coach. So
Mhm.
Mhm.
she
Yeah,
helped me see some things
yeah.
that I didn't see in myself. So, I always hold her dear to my heart. She's gonna always forever be dear to my heart because of that.
And even though, brother, we went through therapy, every day is still a work in progress.
Right.
Mhm.
It ain't
Right.
just a one time
I love
thing
It
and
ain't.
that.
oh,
Yeah.
it's done, it's gone. Every day is still a work in
Absolutely.
progress.
Still work to do. Be done.
But
Mhm.
this is the way we handle things, right? Whenever it comes to conflict, I don't like
Mhm.
to argue, and he'll tell you that. Like I
Mhm.
don't like argue with anybody, and he met me like that. And whenever I met him, I'm gonna be honest with you, he was he had a temper on him. I had a temper whenever, like way back in the day, but I don't like arguing with people. So to me, every disagreement doesn't have to be an argument, and I just wish some people would understand that. Like me and him, we don't really argue like that. If we get to the point to where we're disagreeing with one another and I feel like he's raising his voice a little bit, or, I'll kind of talk in a softer tone because the other person that you're arguing with or having a disagreement with would have to like lower their tone in order to hear you. So me, I'll walk away because I don't like
Yeah.
to argue. Like I tell people all the time, I don't even argue with my own husband, so I'm not going to argue with you.
Mhm.
Every just remember, every disagreement does not have to be an argument. You should be
Nah.
able to speak to one another, intelligently and without a whole bunch of emotions involved, because sometimes it's just not necessary to take it to another level. You can take something so minute and make it into this big old mountain when it's nothing but like a little ant pile. So some people do that just based off of emotions. Every disagreement doesn't have to be an argument. That's how I live my life. That's how we
And
live
another
ours.
exactly. And another thing is we don't go to bed with it. Like we'll have a disagreement, we'll talk about it. Hey, if I like you said, I put myself in her shoes and see, all right, maybe I was tripping. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it was me. And I'll be a man to be apologize. You know what, baby?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Definitely.
apologize.
Most definitely.
I was wrong. Like she tell you, like sometimes, like I said, I'm a work in progress. And sometimes
Somebody
I
No.
will raise my optic.
said it.
And she would tell me like, why you screaming? Why you yelling? And sometimes I have to like sit back and be like, damn, I am. And I don't
Well, you
need
don't,
to.
you don't yell. You like raise your voice. I wouldn't say you yell. I wouldn't say you yell. You raise your
And she'll
voice.
be talking to me, you know, in a normal tone or whatever. And sometimes I step back, be like, and I gather myself, like, yeah, that's not what I should be doing because we're not getting there. And like I say, I do have a temper, and I'm still working on that.
Mhm.
So by her talking to me in that low tone, it snaps me back because I don't want that old me to come out. Because like I said, I was a hot temper. Like anything would set me off.
Mhm.
And so now I learned how to be a lot more calmer with situations instead of this going straight from 0 to 100.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
so that's
Yeah.
one thing that I've learned and still working on.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
But I hope you fix that. I hope I mean, you explain that because you try to make it seem like I'm driving you crazy. It be outside sources and stuff. It don't be me. Like, it don't be me. Like, it be outside sources and he be getting
Look,
all upset
look.
and stuff. It don't be me, like,
Yeah,
putting him off and
yeah.
stuff.
I hear
Just
you.
please clear that up. So,
that's called what she just did is called
Yeah.
personalization.
Right.
She
yeah,
just
clear that up
personalized
for
that to the fifth
Look,
power.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't, yeah.
look.
But anyways, like I say, every disagreement doesn't have to be an argument, and that's
No.
just the way that
But,
I live my life, you
but
know. Mhm.
once again, natural. Once again, natural. I think the greatest strength that my wife and I have, we understand the reality of a force that don't want us to ride this out. What force is that, Brother Ryan? Look here. I understand psychological and spiritual warfare. I am very on top of my avowed enemy. And I'm not talking about spookiness. You know, I have experience and scripture that back up what I'm about to say. I have an enemy, a vowed enemy. You can call it the disease. You can call it Satan. You can call it devil. You can call it anything that you want to call. But the primary job of that force is to bust up the love, the union, and the companionship of the man and woman. That's their primary job. And it will use whoever and whatever to bust it up. So it's incumbent upon me to find out how that enemy works. Because I just shared with you earlier, right? I am still, thank you, Terrence. I am still a product of all the things that I've been exposed to and under the influence of. So if I'm talking about trauma and I'm talking about dysfunctional household and I'm talking about this and I'm talking about that, if I'm not careful, I will bring that unnecessary baggage right into a union, and I can be acted out on that baggage and didn't realize I brought in that much baggage because I buried the baggage. So there was current situations that came up, like anger. I had to find out, why are you angry? And it wasn't because of what she did, how she did it, what she didn't do. It was some other unresolved issues that presented itself in the now. Now, what me and her greatest challenge was, right, was besides she had the cancer. That's how she wrote a book. She wrote a book. She's an author. COVID, right? Cancer, and an addiction that I acquired, that I brought into when I was born and raised in Harlem. That's why you'll say that Godfather and all that stuff they be talking about on TV. I lived it. So of course I brought all that with me. And if I didn't address it, we wouldn't have lasted this long. My wife brought some issues with her in her healing. Right? And if she wasn't willing to address it, I wasn't willing to stay.
Right.
I'm responsible. She's responsible for her well-being. I'm responsible for my well-being. And together, we're responsible for both of our well-being. And I got to learn accountability. My 3 things is accountability, responsibility, and maturity. And if I'm lacking in them 3 areas, I'm in trouble, she in trouble, right? And our marriage is in trouble.
Right.
So I got to always understand, right, that the work, I'm a work in progress, but I got to understand who I am.
Right.
And when a red flag comes up, right, now I practice identification, I practice empathy. If my marriage is not built and rooted in spiritual principles, I ain't got nothing. I got to know when to be honest. I got to be open. I got to be willing. I got to be patient. I got to be tolerant. I got to have unconditional positive regard, love. It's better to understand than be understood. So if I understand who she is and where she come from and understand who I am And where
Yes.
I came from, we can bring it to the spiritual circle and all will be well.
Mm-hmm. I recently had a issue, honey. I'm gonna talk about it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And it's kind of gonna coincide with what you said, but I'd like to answer that question because you talked about the challenges and how did we overcome the challenge in the marriage. That's the question on the floor, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you can, we can talk all of the spiritual solutions, this, that, and the third, but the real meat and potatoes, I think, is what is going to be more appeasing to the audience. That raw honesty in regards to what really happens in marriages. I'm just saying, because after 10 years, I'm gonna tell this real quick story, and it's going to tie right into what my husband just said. Because if he didn't have all of what he just said he had rooted in those spiritual, in that maturity, that spiritual maturity and being open and understanding me as his wife and who I am and seeing what I can't see and all that good stuff he just said, then this marriage would have ended June 5th, 2025, and we wouldn't have made it to no 10 years. Because I'm just saying that, so I recently went through a body transformation. We moved to Atlanta, Georgia 3 years ago. And the bottom line was this. All I seen was eyelashes and big asses. That's the God's honest truth. I ain't gonna lie. And I wanted it because I was morbidly obese after 14 years of college. I came out 308 pounds. Today I'm 165.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sweetie.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. And the bottom line was I really had no clue on what it was going to do to me psychologically after becoming this doctor and doing all of this stuff that I did in my life and surviving a crack addiction, overcoming breast cancer, and then almost dying on COVID, couldn't breathe, was getting ready to go on a ventilator in the hospital, all that. And I knew it was a reason he still kept me here. So now I'm here with you all today, letting you know that one of the recent challenges was that, who am I? Who am I? After 20 years of sobriety, right? Cancer, COVID, crack addiction, 4 marriages. Who are you, lady?
Right.
Writing books, all that, flying all over the world, everywhere. Who are you? So when I saw what was going on in Atlanta, Georgia, and I have this wonderful sister who wants the best for me, we begin to set ourselves on this health thing. But 15 years ago, I knew something was wrong because I was always morbidly obese. I could never get out of the category of obesity. Never. And so I started chopping this off and doing body contouring and all that stuff. And a different part of my brain turned on. And it talked about, it told me that, I wanted to go outside of the marriage. I wanted an open marriage because he wasn't doing this. And I began to point fingers at my husband. And I began to point the finger. Listen to me, y'all. I'm telling you the truth. I began to point the fingers at my husband. Our marriage took a shift. And it said, after 10 years, you ain't doing this. You ain't doing that. Yo, no. Y'all want to hear the truth? I'm going to tell you the truth. You ain't doing this. You ain't doing that. This don't feel good no more. That don't feel good no more. And after 10 years, the adversary. And I'm talking about the things that went on with me this summer, right? All of that. I want to go out. I want an open marriage. I asked for an open marriage. He said, all right, let's try that. Try whatever, I'm talking about this marriage is perfect for me, right? You gotta be married. You gotta know who you married to, right? Because ain't none of them work but this one. And I will stay married. And so all I wanted to do It's all through all of, thank you, sis, because I'm telling you, it's work. And everything I went through, wanting to go out with this person, go out with that person. I want to go out and date. I want to go this, I want to go that. I want to do all of these things just to find out that it was never intercourse that I was seeking. It was the power of touch. And then I needed to not put him down for what he wasn't doing, because we got routine now. Let me tell you, we bad to the bone around here. We structured and routine and all that, but that wasn't happening. And my brain turned on and said, oh, you ain't touched me. Well, when I was morbidly obese, I didn't want to be touched, y'all.
Right.
I didn't want to be touched. I didn't care about that. It was all connected to his intellect and the spiritual stuff, the things that we've just talked about. Okay? It was all those things. But all of what I experienced from the summertime to just September, this happened from June to September of 2025, I was caught in a vicious cycle, a web. It was like the devil just had me, or he was just doing whatever he wanted, because I thought I was all, listen, they gave me a party for my 20th year sobriety date this year, and they put these things on the table that says, bust me out the plastic because I'm acting brand new. Yeah, because I was really acting brand new after I got that body transformation. But it did something to my brain, all for me to come full circle just to realize what my real love language was, which was touch. So now my husband goes on this journey with me. He said, that's okay. We're going to get through it, sweetie. You're going to figure this out, sweetie. I got you. I'm right here. We ain't going nowhere. Whatever mistakes you're going to make, you go ahead and do what you got to do, because he is a man of integrity. He's a just man. What he does is he say, I'm going to allow you your process. He don't try to control, fix, or manage anything in my life. He does not do that to me. He said, go through the process, because when you come out, you're going to be bad. You're going to be my wife, you bad. And he was right. And it only took me less than 90 days to get through that process. So now, instead of putting him down and pointing fingers and doing stuff like that, adversary, you lose. I lift my man up, and we got a game going on in this house that'll knock you off your feet if I tell you about it right now.
This is what I want to say, right? I commend you, and this is what I love about you. A lot, and I'm gonna say that I don't care who get mad. A lot of women do not take accountability, and this is what I love about you. That's why we connected the way that we connect, because whenever I was going through what I went through, I had to say after a while, okay, hey, this ain't his fault. It's on me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I said that, and I openly said that, hey, this is on me. This is my fault. And I took accountability for that. And he could tell you, I'm a person that take accountability. And so for the newlyweds, I want y'all to understand that everything is not going to be, what they say, peaches and cream. It's going to be some things. You're going to gain weight. It's going to make you feel some type of way. It's going to make you feel insecure. You're going to bounce, whenever you get a little older, with the hormones. Like me, I have thyroid issues. So I'm going to, sometimes you're going to see me like right now, I'm a little heftier than usual, but within a couple of weeks, I'm gonna be like smaller again, because I work out consistently.
You don't play. You don't play.
Me, I'm a bounce backer. I'm a snatch right back up. But the thing is, the accountability is what we need to have, especially more as women, because we don't have that accountability. We don't like to apologize to our spouses. And I'm gonna say most women. Most women don't like to do that. They don't like to admit when they're wrong. And we have to start admitting, like, hey, sometimes we're the problem.
Right.
So I thank you for sharing that story. And, that's going to help somebody else, because it just helped me as well, because I'm a person that bounced back and forth with my weight, and that's medical, and I can't do anything about it. I had a brother tell me the other day, well, you need to stop, sis. You need to stop bouncing back and forth with your weight and just stay one size. And I'm like, if it was only that simple, I would do it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you're not in my shoes, you're never going to understand what I go through, first of all, as a woman, and second of all, having the medical condition that I have. So once again, I commend you. I thank you for your transparency. And sometimes whenever, this is a whole a whole like example of hurt people hurting people, because she had to
Mhm.
go through her transformation, and she was hurt because she was, at a low point for such period of time, because of her weight and everything. So she felt low about herself. It
Mhm.
had nothing to do with her husband. She felt low about herself, and it's things that
Right.
she had to heal within
Yep.
herself. And I'm not gonna lie to you, because I seen a change in you. I kind of wanted to call and stuff, but I know that I didn't want to do that. I knew that you had to go through it, because once upon a
Mhm.
time I had to go through it. Now it's not in the same way, but I had to go through it. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, certain times I wanted to reach out and call you and stuff, because I kind of felt it. I kind of
Mhm.
felt but I stood back and let you go through whatever it was that you were going through, because I was able to see that. But I'm glad that you are in the space that you're in now,
Oh,
and that had to happen in order for y'all to be where y'all are at now.
that's
And
right.
I do want to say that it's a lot of pressure on us as women to become something totally different than what we aren't, because of society. Society shows us these small old bodies, you
Yeah.
know. Clothes nowadays are altered to like to big old butts and these tiny little waists and stuff, and I have a natural like normal body, but I could go into stores and some things I can't fit because it's too baggy in a butt or
Mhm.
the waist and stuff, and I'm like, dang, like you these websites, these models, these
Mhm.
AI images and stuff,
Yeah,
sometimes fall
yeah,
into that,
yeah.
so sometimes it's hard, but you have to know who you are, and you had to go through that. And I thank you so much for sharing that. Not
I
only
had
did you
no choice.
probably help,
X. That was a real struggle.
yeah, you probably help, a lot of people that's listening right now and people that's
Mhm.
going to tune in later
Mhm.
on. So
Yes.
Yeah.
for sharing that.
You're welcome. That's what I came on for.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
But we on
Yes.
the other side now, baby. I gotta tell y'all about this game we playing. Y'all might want to get a little bit of that. Woo!
Yeah, you know me, I want to know.
Yes, honey, it's going down in the Burton household.
So, if you could describe your marriage in one word, what would it be?
It's
Amazing.
so loving. It's just loving, so loving, just loving. I'm in heaven.
Terrence, you too quiet.
I would have to say,
Um, if I could describe it in one word, man, I can't. It's
Raheem ain't said what yours, Raheem.
Exceptional.
Wow,
I would say complete. I'm complete, I would
Okay.
nice,
say. Yeah.
nice.
Mhm.
That's beautiful,
Yeah.
amazing,
I'd
and
say
complete.
just
Yeah. Yeah.
man. What can I say? Man, it's just amazing.
Mhm. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing what the Most High God can do with two people,
Hmm.
That's right.
breaking them together as one,
Yes,
and
yes,
and
yes.
and like everybody's saying, just connecting like that, and it's amazing.
Mhm.
I
He
tell
said
every
he said his marriage was exceptional. He talk about me, y'all. He talk about me.
yeah.
He said a half
No,
amazing. He said it's amazing, y'all.
he did. He did. He talking about you, Queen. But look how long it took me to
Yeah.
get that type. I mean,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
41 years. He's 45. I'm 41. Our first
Okay.
marriage.
Wow.
First marriage. So I was supposed to be
Yeah.
married plenty
Yeah.
of times. Believe
Mhm.
me. Every
Mhm.
relationship they tried to marry me, but
Mhm.
it didn't work. But I would say
Yeah.
by this being my first time, I really took my time. I had to
Mhm.
go through my counseling, my trauma, childhood
Okay.
stuff, adulthood
Okay.
to get to this point. So I feel like
Mhm.
I deserve him. I
Yeah.
deserve him.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
So
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You got your
Mhm.
king, sweetie. I'm happy for you all.
Yeah.
well,
Happy.
Yeah.
thank you. Honestly, because I'm gonna crack a joke because we both say it like We both said if we didn't
Yeah.
sign that license, we didn't sign that marriage license. I don't know.
So do
We
y'all
like
have
we signed on the dot though. On the, we signed it and we made it official.
Mhm.
so
Nice.
do y'all have any traditions or any date nights or any type of
Yeah.
Oh
uh
yeah.
Mhm.
Every
We
yeah,
try
Friday.
to.
What's her date night?
Our
hey,
date
Friday.
hey,
night be
let me,
on either
hey, let me
Sunday
finish the
or
question.
Friday.
Fridays. That's our night.
Mhm.
Fridays is our religious day, so we try to do the religious thing, and then spend, from there we going like to do our grocery stores and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then from there, it's either come home, watch a movie, and stuff. And then we got to play our game because we doing this thing that we do every Friday.
I'm gonna have to hit
One
you on
thing
back and
I
find
can
out
Yeah,
how
say
to
yeah,
do
that
yeah.
Mhm.
since we've been together, even just dating, we try to once a
Mhm.
week do something, right? Do
Mhm.
something, just
Mhm.
be together. It could be watch a movie together. Even if we weren't living together, we talked on the phone. We did different things that was just
Mhm.
our time for us. And I can say that really helped. That really helps. That shows, the time and the value. The things we love to do. We like walk in the park together. We like
Mhm.
walk in the park. And
Work
Oh,
that
I love
working
that. I
out.
love that.
We work out together every day,
Oh, I love
three,
that.
four
I
times
love
out the
say
week.
that again.
You know
Y'all
what
do
I'm
what
saying?
together every day?
We work out. We
Say
do.
it
We get
again.
up and work out.
Say it again.
We work out.
Repeat that again.
We work out and we walk the park, you know what I'm
It's
saying? But
not.
it's just
That's
like
beautiful.
it's honestly it's the little things that we
Yes,
Mhm.
just it's the little things that got us just happy and in
Mhm.
peace.
I love
Because
Mhm.
that.
we before we thought it required all this other things to be in peace, but really it's the little things. And that's
Hmm.
a date for us. We can just watch a movie and be happy, be in peace. I can. What
Yes.
about you?
Same shit.
She
Yeah,
says, I'm on your page.
that's
I
Yeah.
a
can.
real
I'm a
life.
simple.
I'm like you.
I'm the little things that count with me. The little things,
Yeah, that's how I
you
am
know.
too. I'm really simple. Like Terrence would bring me flowers every day, and even if he can't bring me one like physically, he'll send a picture of one through text message or something. Give me a flower every
You
single
know,
day.
I
Yeah.
remember that from when I was giving you all counseling sessions. I
Yeah.
remembered that. I thought,
Yeah.
he don't do that every day. And yes, he does. He
I mean,
does.
like with him, like I've never had a man that come and say,
Mhm.
"How's your mental every day? How are you doing?" Like every day, and he tells me I'm beautiful,
Yeah.
and he means
Yes.
it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I told him, I said before he tells me I'm beautiful, and I look jacked up, y'all. I be looking crazy. I be like, "Huh?"
No,
But yeah, but I know that
you think
I
you
know
look
Mhm.
it's
crazy.
real. I
Yes.
know
Yeah.
You
it's
think
real.
you look
Yes.
crazy. Like men like to see us more in our natural form.
Yes. He
So
done
when
seen
you
me, he be
think
looking
you look
like I don't
crazy,
I see that, but I like that about him because I don't have to change myself. I never had to
Okay.
change who I am. He's accepted me. I'm
Mhm.
a country girl. I like country music too. Okay. I
Mhm.
never had to change nothing about myself. So that's one thing I can say about him that I've first time with a black man where I had to change up everything about myself to appease to them. I'm being honest. So
Wow. Oh, okay.
yeah.
Hmm.
My
Yeah,
daughter's
I'm
in the
being honest.
audience, and my daughter's in the audience. You got some really good comments in these audience, all the way from when we first started watching. So y'all, I'm just gonna encourage y'all to go back and read some of that stuff. But my daughter was like, y'all, she said, me and my husband, we always out in them streets.
oh,
On dates and stuff.
Yes.
I post everything. I'll be like, we on a date, we at the mall, we at the mall.
yeah, we like to keep
I
date
do
nights.
too. I do too. I'm good at that.
People
But
don't know
yes.
how important that is, to spend time with
Oh,
one another because life is just so fast, you know.
mhm.
Um, I
Well, I
encourage.
say also the type of stuff that we do. I started in the industry as a model, so modeling, acting, and get into media and stuff. By him being an actual lyricist and singer, songwriter,
Okay.
all that,
Nice.
it's really hard to find good relationships. They don't really believe in it. You know what I'm saying? You don't believe in. They don't promote the black love stick together type of thing and the type of stuff that we
Mm,
do.
yeah.
So it's actually good to have a secure relationship where I can model and he's there with me. Not, oh, it's, just some outlandish stuff. No, this is just what I'm getting paid to do and we out of here. And
Mhm.
being confident in that. You know what I'm saying? Being confident, like I'm with her and I'm with him. So it's
Mhm.
like we already know what to bring in the industry. We already know what it brings, right? The negativity more than anything. But we also know, like, hey, this is what you do. I'm with you and I support you. See, I
Yes.
haven't with the stuff I like to do, it's really hard for men to be like, yeah, I'm married to a model because models are looked at as just so horrible nowadays, really. And it's like it's not that, but if you really know what you're doing, if you know, if they trust you and everything, it can happen. And that's what I'm trying to show in the entertainment part. You know, with everybody that's doing different things, like the last thing you see is love and committed relationships.
Ooh,
That's the last thing you
mm,
see. So it's like, no, I can do it. We do it. So that's what
yeah.
we, you know, we built this. We like to be on stuff like this to show that it is possible.
Yes, yes, yes. I love it.
So everybody is speaking about what, you know, excuse me, the men do for us. What do we do for them?
Oh, don't get me started because this weekend was my husband's 73rd birthday. Yeah. So we drove all the way from Atlanta, Georgia to North Carolina and had a nice little romantic weekend there. Got a hotel room booked and all that kind of stuff. Took him out to eat dinner, took him out to eat breakfast the next morning, then took him to the mall shopping in North Carolina so we could say we bought some stuff in North Carolina. Got him some Air Force Ones and whatnot, bought me some Timberland boots, you know. Then
Okay,
came
okay,
back and
okay.
You know, that's right.
hold on, I ain't finished since you asked. I'm so glad you asked. Okay. So the next day I went, and then when we got back, I went to his job, and you can just check my social media, you will see it. I went
I've
to his
seen it
job
all.
and brought him a cake and some flowers and some balloons, spoiled him up over at his job, spent a couple of hours with him there. Then after that, when he came home later on that night, he had all these brand new t-shirts and socks and underwears because last time I did the laundry, I threw all that stuff in the garbage, so I had to replace it. So I just brought him some new Dickies and some new Dickie pants, both gray, blue, 2 polo shirts, some what? Socks and everything. Yeah, spoiled him up. And before that, where we went the week before, well, child, we be somewhere everywhere. But anyway, we do for each other. And now next week, he's taking me to the spa. We get body scrubs together. And we spend time at the sauna, going to whirlpool, the jacuzzi, you know, just being
I
there,
know
eating
that's
all
right.
the Asian food and stuff, and just be in each other's companies and arms and lay on the warm floor together with the pillows inside there and just talk yang yang. You know, we can go swimming if we want within that facility. Yeah, that's what we do for each other. But anyway, thanks for asking.
I know that's right.
Yeah, I had to ask because
I'm about to call you for some ideas, honey. I'm about to
Well,
call you,
you
okay?
sometimes
got to call
relationships.
me and get this new thing that I'm doing. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it.
I'm gonna stay
I'm gonna
connected.
interrupt.
I'm definitely am.
Sometimes we're so self-centered that we feel
Mm.
like the men have to always do for us and we don't do for them.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So I take care of mine.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
definitely. Well, with him, he's really independent. So down to I'm gonna wash your clothes. I got it. I got it. I got to tell him now. I got this.
right.
Like you got this. I got this. You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
He
because
tries that.
he's
He
a
tries that
provider and
too,
he's a
sis.
great, huh?
He tries that too. He tries to do his own laundry and stuff, but then the shirts
Yeah.
turn yellow. But that's when the white shirts turn yellow. And I'll be like,
Thank
stop
you.
doing the laundry, honey. He'd be like, I did it
Thank
already.
you.
No, that's for me to do. If
But
he
that's what
come home one day,
I
how
love
about
about
if he come
him.
home one day and I paid all the bills already and gave him a break? We call that sadaqah in Islam. I'm allowed to give my husband a gift. So if I come
Yeah.
home at the beginning of the month and pay all the bills that he usually pay, he start feeling some type of way. Well, why'd you do that? Well, I can't give you a gift. You know, so then stop doing my laundry and making my bed and doing my stuff. Then don't do my stuff then, like that. So
Yeah, we talking about you too. I ain't allowed to buy him no gifts, y'all. I have to sneak and buy him stuff.
right, and put it in there and throw the other stuff in the garbage. That's all you do. They ain't never gonna know. And then whatever
I ain't
you
gonna
cook,
tell
don't
you.
worry about it. Whatever you cook, he's gonna eat it. Don't even worry about it. He gonna eat it.
Yeah,
Don't even worry about it.
yeah.
Y'all crack me up.
I love Felicia.
But
I
you know what? I love
know.
that. I love the transparency. I love that you're
Yeah. Yeah.
excited. I'm the type like I'm cool with telling my flaws because at the end of the
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not gonna change our relationship. Either you're gonna accept it or you're not. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what's the point of hiding anything? I've
Yeah.
been through so many hidden relationships. People want to hide you to the
Mhm.
side and this,
Mhm.
that, and the other. And I know that's why in 41 years it took me a long time because I'm really adamant on what I want and
Yeah.
what I want, what I deserve. And I've dealt with things I didn't deserve.
Yeah.
So now when you get to that point, it's like, when we started dating, we just got out of bad relationships and at a point where we didn't want to date nobody anymore. So
Mhm.
when we opened up this, it just happened. And when I tell you it just happened, it's happened. And
Well, you
that's
off
how
to
I
a good
know.
start.
Huh?
You off to a good start.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I am very happy. I can say with all
Yeah.
if everything in my life, I finally I know that this is right. Every other relationship you was never it was never right. You know, you when you do it, it ain't never right. It ain't never right when you do it. Well, you know when the creator do it.
Come on,
You
girl.
know when the creator do it. Because when he say that I gotta move, I had anything when it came to us, he said go now or whatever. Our source go now. And it always
Yeah.
came to pass. All instantly. Instantly, because I'm hard headed. I'm a runner. If I don't like something, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on a minute. So this
Mhm.
hasn't been an easy, you know what I'm saying? This hasn't been an easy month of marriage, couple months of dating. Nothing has not been easy. And
Mhm.
me being a runner, if I get an axe, I'm done. I know I'm done. I don't like it. I might run after you later, okay? But it's not like that with marriage. You can't do that with marriage.
Well,
Yeah,
can
So
and
I know that's the biggest
I,
lesson that I'm going through right now. You
yeah,
can't. Yes,
that's
I want
beautiful.
to say one thing though, right? This man I'm gonna be with for the rest of my life.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And I vow to be with him for the rest of my life. Now, just because I tell him that don't mean that he could do me any kind of way, that's not giving him a pass,
right.
but I'm gonna be with him for the rest of my life. Whatever we go through, whatever we go through, we're gonna end up working it out no matter what,
Yeah.
and that's how it's going to be. I always tell people, right, that I never understood how people could get married and be married for 20, 30 years and then divorce. I never really understood that. And I know some people grow apart, but
Mm-hmm.
this is what I always tell people, right? Even though you've been married for 20 or 30 years, you're still getting to know that person and you're still getting to know yourself. If you leave that person, see that person that you're with for that long, like with Terrence, like people would say demons, right? Like, oh, I know his I don't like saying that word, but I know his demons. I know what make him tick. I know what makes him happy. I know my man. I know who he is as a person. I know what he like. I know what he dislike. I know a lot of things about him. I've been through a lot of things with him. He understand me. He know everything that Well, you will never know everything about one person. I'm just gonna be real and honest with you. That is impossible because they
Mm-hmm.
had a life before you that you probably don't even know about, or things that they have experienced that they probably never have shared. Right? So you're never gonna know every single thing about a person. So but you know enough, right?
Right.
My whole point is, what is the whole point of going through a marriage for 20 or 30 years, breaking up, and you know this person well, right? To go and find somebody else and have to learn that person all over again, learn, what makes that person tick,
Their
learn
favorite color, what they like to eat, and all,
yeah,
yeah,
like
all that stuff.
that's you might as well
No, I
stick it
know
up.
what
You've been
you're
sticking
saying.
it up for 20, 30 damn years. Like, what is the whole point now? Like you think
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna find, you may find something better, but the grass is not always greener on the other side. Work it out.
That part.
That's
That
the
part.
Right.
problem I have with our people is that we're so quick to give up on
Mhm.
everything. We fight for things like we fight for other people and other people rights, and we don't fight for our own rights. We don't fight
Mm-hmm.
Right.
for our own households, but yet we quick to jump in somebody else's business, and that's the problem I have with some of our people. Like people have issues within their marriage and they broadcast their issues or they go on social media and they vent, but then whenever they work it out, well, I haven't been a person do anything like that, but I've seen people that do that all the time. And then whenever they work it out, their business are in the streets and they're like, okay, well, you're stupid for still being with him. You're stupid for still being with her. Keep y'all relationships private. Don't trust everybody. And I had to learn that too. It's like some people just aren't your friends. Some people are looking for you to fail. Some people see your marriage or your relationship as being perfect, or even if it's not perfect, it's what they want. You understand what I'm saying? It's what they want. Your
Right.
man may not be perfect or your wife may not be perfect, but trust and believe it's somebody that's watching, that's waiting to take your place, and that's just how the world is.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
be mindful, be careful who you talk to, be careful how you move.
Right.
and
Yeah,
always carry yourself in a way that represents your spouse, because you represent not only yourself, you represent your spouse as well.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Sounds good. I love that.
Yes. I have to say that's perfect. That's something that I have every day. I'll be looking like, okay, I'm a wife now. I'm not single no more.
Okay.
Like
Wow.
I'm a wife now. I'm a wife. So it
Good.
does matter. It really does. I'll be looking like, dang,
Yeah.
I should wear
Yeah.
this. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I I go through it every day and I ask him, I was like, babe, what this, because it is different. It's a different type of respect,
Yeah.
a different type of value. You know what I'm saying? When you have your husband, you can't just you're representing him.
Yeah,
So
there's some things
both
that I
struggles
would
aside.
wear with my husband out with him that I wouldn't wear by myself. You know what I mean? But it wasn't
Right.
directed to you. It was just directed, just. I'm just
No, I was
speaking.
just saying that's something personally that I have been struggling with. It don't matter if it's a pair of workout pants. I'm like, babe, is this appropriate? Because I'm with you now. When I'm single, you don't think about that. You don't really care per se. So I would have to say, yeah.
So I have one more question. So, what's some things that you wish that people will understand about Black love and Black marriages?
Mm.
That it take time. It's a process. Don't nothing happen overnight.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
It's a process, especially if it's real and it's genuine and sincere love. You know what I'm saying? Coming from our black culture, it's a process. It take time, and it's not gonna be easy. But if you really in love with that person, not just love, but in love with that person, you'll be willing to, go through that storm.
The one thing I'd like to leave them, I'd like to let people know that Black love is personal. It's really personal. Guess what? And it's political. It's the essence of being able to persevere together, to
Right.
to enjoy loving on one another. Learn to do that, people.
Yes.
Learn your love language so that you can transfer it in the marriage. It's
Yeah.
so important. Stop believing the typical folks in the society that says, oh, it should be romantic and stuff. It ain't peaches and cream. That's bologna and cheese. Okay?
It's not.
It
It's
ain't
not.
bologna and cheese,
It's
honey.
not.
It's
Down to
personal.
where,
I'm
down to the
telling you.
point where we both looked at the reasons why we got married, and I looked it up. I said, I got married for this reason, you got married for that reason. We had to realize it's different. We got married for different reasons, but we got to be able to put both reasons why we got married together.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
Everybody is
saying?
feeling
Yes.
it. That enmeshment in the healthy enmeshment. This the time you should be trying to get with something. That's the
Yes.
time you should be trying to get enmeshed. And then because most people use the word enmeshment in a negative context,
Right.
but in a marriage, it's vital. It's
Yes.
vital. That togetherness is the Black love and the Black marriage. That togetherness is imperative. But you got to have individuality, like
Yeah.
my sister said, like Natural said. You have to have individuality within the marriage. My husband gets up, he goes his way, knows his role, does his thing. I get up, go my way, know my role, do my thing. And
Right.
then when we come home, this is our sanctuary and life goes on. You know,
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
Black love and Black marriage is important to me because we have too many broken households in our culture. That's
Yes.
why it's very important to me, and that's why I push Black love and nation building, because it's just something that we see a lot in our culture. It's like single moms, a lot of single mothers. Nothing against single mothers, but we see it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just time to fix that. It's time to fix that. It's time to, and some people will be like, okay, well, you can be married, excuse me, be together without being married. But I mean, that's their preference.
Uh,
But as long as you build your legacy, I mean, I guess that's all that matters. But to me, I'd rather be married. You know,
yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
I'd rather
And
be
that's
married.
what
It
I,
can affect you in so
yes,
many
I
different
would
ways.
say since we got married, holding the hand even feel different. Okay, everything that the value of that just. I mean, I tell you, everything feels different.
Yeah.
Everything, the hugs, the kisses, like I'm married to you. That valid,
Yeah,
that
that's
just
mine. That's
it's
mine
different.
right
And I
there.
would tell anybody that don't wait on the ring because we're doing this because we want to do it for us to prosper. As soon as
Mhm.
we made that vow, our lives changed without
Mhm.
everything that we thought we needed. So,
Mhm.
you know, I
Yep.
can say that. You know, it's the
This is
best thing I've ever done. I've never felt so valuable in my life in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
come on, sister.
I never have. Never
Tell the
have.
folks. I love it.
So,
So,
I'm gonna say this: the joy is in the journey, not the destination.
There you
Mm.
Right.
go.
Amen.
And surely, with all difficulty come relief. Surely, with all difficulty come with ease. So, don't leave 5 minutes before the miracle.
Mm.
Don't leave 5 minutes before the miracle.
Nice.
Endure, persevere, struggle, right? Because I still got that avowed enemy that will do anything to bust up the natural love between a man and a woman. Let me say this too, right? From an Islamic perspective, we used to always say um, the arch deceivers used to always meet, and and the head arch deceiver used to always say, "What did you do to disturb the longevity of the husband and wife?" Right? That was their sole purpose, is to destroy the sanctity of man and woman.
Mm.
However, right, and when one of the arch deceivers and angels came down and destroyed the sanctuary and sanctity of the man and woman, he was glorified. Oh, you did a wonderful job. Do you know you stopped the natural development of the man and woman and the growth of a community? Praise. We glorify you for busting up the natural commitment and love that a man and woman has for each other.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Sad.
That's what we're
Very
dealing
sad.
with.
And we're
Yes.
fighting to learn it now. So yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
We
Good
got to be
stuff.
aware.
Yeah.
We got to be aware of that avowed enemy, man.
Oh
He's
yeah.
always, always, always cunning, baffling, insidious, powerful, wicked, vicious, and diabolical.
Mm.
Boy, the
Oh.
things that it comes up with to destroy this the highest form. Man, you don't want this to happen, because if it happens, we all at peace in heaven. If we don't do it, we all in hell. So that's his job,
Man.
So everybody have a blessed evening on purpose. I know I will.
so
On purpose.
yeah, so
We
I
sure
want to
will.
I want to thank all of you couples for sharing your truth and your transparency, your and your love, transparency. Oh,
Yeah,
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 I
yeah. You
listen.
got it.
I
Yeah,
get so tongue tied. So this conversation tonight is a reflection of strength, of growth, and unity in our community. Black love is powerful, is necessary, it's not always perfect. You're not going to always be happy. And I want to say that you are in charge of your own happiness. The person that you are with adds to your happiness. But
Hmm.
Black love is real, it's
yeah.
resilient, and it's rooted in purpose. So until next time, family, remember that love isn't just something that you feel, it's something that you build every day.
Yes.
So, peace, power,
And
and love.
Love.
All
Thank you.
right.
Thank you.
Good
Thank y'all,
night.
man.
Good
Y'all,
night. Good
night,
Good night,
night.
Night.
y'all. Good night. Good night.
be
Thank
good.
y'all. Thank y'all.
Nice meeting
All
y'all.
right, man. Y'all
Peace
stay
and
up.
blessings.